This used to be our outhouse. But now we have that. And we are so thankful.
Hey guys, we're back up in our property up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Finally got a break in the rain. Spent a couple days up here, Barb and I. Just wanted to show you our last little building project here. We'll go over that a little bit and kind of talk a little bit about off-grid properties and developing off-grid properties. We bought this property last spring, and in our last video we did a short brief video of the little outpost cabin we built. We dubbed it the Outpost. Just a very small, very rustic cabin. Just a place we can come up here and stay and enjoy this property. One of the first things you really want to look at doing when you buy a piece of property, start to develop it, is an outhouse is a good place to start. We put that cabin up pretty quickly, and we were just kind of using the trees around us for the time being, but it was really time to get that done. And when you look at property, there's many different ways to do different things. This was clear cut by a logging company. I believe they dug out a lot of this to build the roads and stuff in here. But as you can see, we have a lot of rocks. And the thought of digging a hole down in the ground for an outhouse was something I was not looking forward to. So a little bit of time, a little bit of thinking, a little bit of research, I came up with a different idea. Let me know what you think. But didn't really want to start digging into the ground. A few rocks is one thing, but you hit one of these guys, you're done. You got to start over or stop where you're at. So we had this area here. It's about 75 feet from the cabin itself with a nice drop off in the bank. So as I got to thinking, why don't I just extend a little bridge out over an elevated area? So we built like a little walkway there, set it up on 4x4 posts. I had just enough of the rough sawn cedar left to be able to make it all the way around here. Use my last board. But we got about a good 5+ foot area underneath. And then Barb started collecting some of the rocks, and we're just kind of filling in that void with the rocks. So this is not our main off-grid property. We come up here just to get away, relax, want to keep it very basic, simple, rustic. So this is not an outhouse that's going to be used all that much. But as you can see from the weather, when it's raining, it's a pretty handy thing to have. So it's just a simple little construction. Nothing fancy, but when it's raining, snowing, blowing, middle of the night, it's a handy little building to have. Another thing we put on here, we're keeping pretty much most power out of this place, but I found these at Home Depot. It's a solar charged little motion detecting light. Got one on the front of the cabin, one here, so when you got to go out in the middle of the night, it lights your way. And it just gets me thinking too about the resources. When you look at a piece of property, and you probably have plans, ideas, dreams of what you want to do with it, your resources dictate a lot of what you're going to do. Starting next year, I would love to build an actual more log cabin looking cabin on the place. But as you can see, if I was going to wait to cut these trees down to use them for logs for a cabin, I'm going to be waiting a long time. So I seen one idea that I was watching on YouTube. A guy built a nice, small, really nice looking cabin out of 2x8s, 2x8 system. So that's something I'm kicking around, an idea for the future. But it's just fun to be able to come up here, do your own thing, dream your own dreams, and just really enjoy a different kind of quiet.
So to build this outhouse, the first thing that we had to do was build the frame for the walkway or the little bridge that was going to go to the outhouse. We did that on flat land because it was easier, and then just pulled it out over the ledge. And then took our 4x4 posts and then put those in from the backside from there. We didn't dig a hole for the 4x4 posts. They're sitting on some pretty hard rocks down on the bottom there. It's a pretty solid surface, so we didn't bother burying them at all. And then once it was leveled out, Dan got the deck boards on and got those all attached, and then we built the walls from there. And what he did was just make sure that that first board was plumb, and then just built the back wall and built a small frame on the inside, or just a bracing piece, and then built the sidewalls the same way. And then he just crafted a simple door. And we're going to fast forward through most of the video process of this, and then we will meet you at the end for some campfire biscuits and gravy for breakfast. legs for the seat, and then cut out the hole. And then cut out the angles for the roof. The last step will be putting the roof on and then making a door. So there is the finished wall for the composting outhouse. Won't be putting any mortar in between the rocks because you want airflow through there. So the thing nice about most of the rocks here, they're limestone, so they crack into nice flat pieces and they stack really nicely.
Sausage, biscuits, and juice.
Oh yeah.
I want 3 on my plate. There's no room for 3.
Oh, there's room.
You got my pepper?
Pepper is still inside.
We eat inside?
Sure.
Campfire biscuits and gravy.
Campfire biscuits and gravy.
And gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this new day, for our safe night of rest, for the beauty of your nature and the sounds of it all around us. And we pray you are the creator and maker of all things. We thank you for this food you provide for us. And we pray for your blessing on this day in Jesus' name. First bite.
Perfect.
I'll be the judge of that. You know, I'll be honest with
Let's get it nice and moist.
you. That's paper.